Yeah, that's all working fine. Right, time to go live. I'm going live, I'm going live, I'm going live. I'm recording to YouTube. I am live. Hello, if you watch this live, hello, if you watch this on playback, and welcome to my 37th I Have a Lot to Say live stream on this channel. Now, basically, if you don't know what these live streams are, essentially once or twice or maybe even 3 times a week, I talk about current movie and TV topics going on in the movie and TV world right now. And at the same time, though, I'll also be answering any live questions sent in during this live stream. And also, if you have a topic you want me to talk about in my next live stream, please do let me know in the comments section below. And at the same time, though, I should say a couple things off the bat. First of all, I haven't done much on this channel in the past couple of weeks because I'm getting back into touch with my uni work and things like that. So I've had a lot going on right now, and I've only just managed to film my big Bond spoiler review for No Time to Die, which will be probably getting up on Friday. It's a big, long video, so look forward to that. But I had my big, long, No Time to Die spoiler review coming this Friday, so that took a long time to film. It's taking even longer to edit, so do look forward to that. But that's kind of why I haven't uploaded any reviews, this week so far. And at the same time, though, some other things I should say at the back. First of all, I live in the countryside, and sometimes my hay fever is not the best. So if I do sneeze at any point during this live stream, I do apologise. Also, even so, I live in the countryside, or it's next to a main road, and you might hear like a loud truck, tractor, bike, or whatnot going past during this live stream, and if that interrupts the sound, I do apologise. It's out of my control. And at the same time, though, even so, I live in the countryside, I also live next to a building site. Honestly, it almost feels like there's some people doing work at the houses next to me. So at any point you do hear some like sort of drilling going on at some point during this live stream, again, I do apologise if it interferes with the sound of this live stream. And yeah, like I said, oh, there's another thing as well. Basically, if the stream does cut out at any point during this live stream, I do apologise. The stream hasn't always been the best recently. Well, for the last few times I've done live streams, the stream hasn't always been the best. Sometimes it cuts in and out, so I do apologise if that happens. Like, if the stream just randomly cuts in and out, it's not my fault, OBS. I mean, if it is my fault, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. So, yes, basically, the stream could get in and out during this live stream. And at the same time, I'll hopefully be getting more content to you guys in the next couple of weeks, because honestly, I've been busy as hell. Still been watching loads of films and things like that. But the thing is, though, I've been so busy over the past couple of weeks. I just haven't managed to get much out. I haven't been able to do much live streams. Just haven't had the time to. And also, I've only just, like I said before, managed to film my big, long, No Time to Die spoiler review. And hopefully that'll be coming up on Friday. But it's a big, long video. Honestly, it's almost an hour long. And by the way, I have a lot to say about No Time to Die in my spoiler review. I have a lot of things to say about No Time to Die in spoiler spectacular, shall we say. But anyway, that's basically all the house cleaning items and whatnot off the bat. So without further ado, let's move into my first main topic for today. And keeping on No Time to Die, I'm talking about No Time to Die's box office. So basically, if you give me a sec here and we jump onto Google, give me a sec. Basically, No Time to Die, oh my god, I was wrong about No Time to Die's box office. It's going through the roof. Honestly, I didn't think this film would do that well at the box office. I didn't think there was much hype surrounding it. Boy, was I wrong, as The Guardian says here. No Time to Die, James Bond film smashes box office records. Daniel Craig's final outing as 007 has made £88 million in the 54 countries worldwide which it has launched in. And bear in mind, the film hasn't even opened in America yet. Like, the film opens in America this Friday. And, it's made a lot of money. But anyway, let's read what the article says here. Daniel Craig's final outing as 007 has smashed UK box office records, grossing more on its opening weekend than any other film in the history of the James Bond franchise. Let's let that sink in a sec. So any of the previous Daniel Craig Bond films, it surpassed those in box office. That's quite incredible. Bear in mind, this film has come out post-pandemic era. Well, to be honest, the pandemic's still going on, so it's coming out during the pandemic essentially, and it's still making this a large amount of money, which is really incredible when you think about it, and has become the biggest movie of the year after only 4 days in cinema. Now that's again saying something. I know like things have been, I know obviously the pandemic's affected a lot of stuff, but still, you've had movies like Black Widow and Shang-Chi, and I'm not going to count Venom 2 yet, because that's going to come out in the UK, but you've also had, what do we have recently? Free Guy. Like, Free Guy's still making a lot of money at the box office. Pardon me there, Free Guy's still making a lot of money at the box office. I may not have liked it, but clearly there's a huge audience that do, and which is great, by the way, and they'll go and watch it at the cinema and things like that, and that's great. People are going back to cinema, which is fantastic. Also, John Cruise has made a fair amount of money as well. There've been loads of films that have come out over the past couple of weeks that are still making money, but things though, according to The Guardian, Bond, No Time to Die is the biggest movie of the year so far. I think that would change come Christmas. I think Spider-Man will be the biggest movie come Christmas, but nevertheless, for now, it's the biggest movie of the year so far. I think it's going to stay that way, actually, for Spider-Man. Honestly, the Eternals might surpass it, but I can't see it, honestly. And at the same time, though, Dune, I don't think will. Unfortunately, I don't think Dune will. I do hope Dune gets a good box office, but unfortunately, I don't think it will go as good as No Time to Die. And also, what else is coming out? Oh, Ghostbusters. I think Ghostbusters do well. Maybe not as well as No Time to Die, though. But anyway, let's continue on with the article here. No Time to Die, which received its world public premiere in the UK at midnight on Wednesday, where this one was being last week, has also broken international pandemic box office records, making $190 million, or 88 million pounds if you're in the UK, in the 55 markets where the film has launched today. This makes it the first title from a Hollywood studio to crack $100 million without opening in China. Wow, that's saying something. The world's second biggest movie market since the pandemic began more than 18 months ago. In the UK and Ireland, and then so on and so on and so on, it's talked about how fantastically the movie's doing. This makes it more successful than Skyfall and Spectre. Just let that sink in. Skyfall and Spectre both came out when there was no pandemic. And I think that says a lot, actually. Both about the movie industry in a really good way, like the fact that people are going back to watch films and things like that, but also people really like Bond, and I'm going to talk about that a bit later when I'm talking about this topic. But anyway, let's see what else this article says. Which each managed, so this we're talking about Skyfall and Spectre again. So basically, the two biggest films in the history of the 59-year franchise, which each managed £20 million or at the UK box office on their 3-day opening weekends. No Time to Die is also already the biggest film of the year, passing Peter Rabbit 2, flipping heck, which made £20.2 million at the UK and Ireland box office. I can't believe Peter Rabbit 2 made that amount of money, by the way. I thought it was totally, utterly awful. But anyway, there you get. So, anyway, so Bond's doing well at the box office. That's great. Honestly, I'm really happy that I was wrong on this one, because I predicted quite a while ago, one of my first live streams on this channel, actually, I predicted quite a while ago that I didn't think Bond would do well at the box office. Boy, was I wrong. It's doing really, really well. And honestly, I also thought people weren't going to like it. I thought people were the best just going to find this somewhere right. People are loving it. I mean, I'm not going to give away my opinion, actually. I was about to give my opinion there, which I'll be doing more in my spoiler review. Look forward to that coming on Friday, probably. But yes, the people which are loving this film, which is great, and I didn't expect them to, because in the end, this is one of those instances where I'm happy I'm wrong. I'm happy I'm wrong on this one, because I predicted that people weren't going to really like this movie. I also predicted that they'd be bombing the box office. I was wrong, and I'm fine with that. Honestly, I love the fact that people are going back to the cinema to see this movie. And I think one of the reasons people are going back to see this movie in particular is because it's an event movie. It's like an Avengers movie. It's like a Star Wars movie. People go back to see this movie time and time again. The mates, and they go with their families and things like that. I went to go and see my mates the second time. So you get the idea there that this is a movie people want to go and see together. And I think that's what's so significant about a film like Bond, or, in this instance, Bond itself, opening at this period. Like, one of the reasons I think Spider-Man would do so well is because it's a well-known Marvel character. That's also why I don't think the Eternals won't do as well as Spider-Man. I think the Eternals might do good, but I don't think they'll do as well as Spider-Man, by the way, because Eternals, they're not well-known Marvel characters. I mean, I've watched both Eternals trailers, and I still don't understand who they are. But nevertheless, I could be proven wrong. I was proven wrong with Shang-Chi, and maybe I'll be proven wrong with Eternals. But nevertheless, I am being proven wrong with Bond, and I'm happy about that. Like I said before, Bond is a big event movie. People go and see it, and that's great. I'm happy that a big event movie like Bond is getting people back to the cinemas. I'm really, really happy about that. And honestly, I think it's going to do great in America as well. The film hasn't actually opened in America yet, but a little film called Venom Let There Be Carnage did last week, and unfortunately in the UK we don't get to see Venom Let There Be Carnage till October the 15th, and even so I'm not really looking forward to that movie. I still want to see it. I'm still going to go to the cinema to see it. So the thing is, Venom opened in the US, and it opened really, really well. I think it got something like $90 million. Do check if I'm wrong there, and if I'm wrong, apologies, but I'm pretty sure it got something like $90 million in America. And honestly, I think Bond's going to be bigger than Venom, because I understand the Venom movies make a lot of money. Venom Let There Be Carnage's opening weekend made more than the first Venom film, which, bear in mind, again, didn't come out during the pandemic. But nevertheless, even so, Bond. Even so, Venom isn't as big as Bond. Even so, what am I trying to say there? Sorry, I lost my train of thought just a second there. I just lost my train of thought. Back. No, basically, I think Bond's going to do better than Venom, because even so Venom's quite popular, and I think Marvel movies are like the talk of the town right now, even so Venom's quite popular, I think Bond's even more popular. Bear in mind, we haven't had a Bond film for 6 years, and this one keeps getting delayed. It kept getting delayed, to say. And it's getting amazing reviews here. It's opened and it's got like 80% on Rotten Tomatoes, which is pretty high for something like Rotten Tomatoes. And also, it's getting fantastic box office numbers here. Even the reviews that are saying it's good, they still talking about the perks of film and things I like quite a lot. There's been some people online which don't like the film, and that's understandable. All films are subjective and things like that. And not everyone's going to love a film, not everyone's going to like the same film. And some people, might like the worst film in the world, and some people might dislike the best film in the world, and things like that. It's that whole idea. All films are subjective, and people don't like it, fair enough. But I do think this is going to be a movie, and clearly from the box office, I'm right, that, people go and see it at the cinema with the friends, with the family. It's an event movie. It's like Star Wars, it's like Marvel, it's like DC to a degree. It's an event movie that people go and see at the cinema, which is why Bond's done so well, and I'm happy it has, and I think it's going to do even better in America. I think it's going to surpass Venom 2 in America. I'd be shocked if Venom 2 did better, actually. Although I wouldn't be I wouldn't be shocked, I'd be surprised, because I wouldn't be shocked, because bear in mind, Spider-Man is coming out later this year, and there's this huge anticipation for Spider-Man right now. There's this huge hype for Spider-Man No Way Home, and a lot of people are thinking Venom 2 might link to Spider-Man No Way Home, specifically in this, mid-credit scene which people are talking about online and things like that. I haven't read anything about that, but yeah, I think they're going to link up together. I don't know how, but I think they are going to link up together, but nevertheless, I do still think Bond will surpass Venom in its box office in America. I'll be interested to see what happens there. But overall, it's done fantastically in the UK and all these other 54 countries that it's opened in, and I'm happy it's doing well. I'd be wondering if it makes its money back. I'd be very intrigued to see if No Time to Die does make its money back. But nevertheless, it's done fantastically, and I'm happy it has. And you know what? I'm happy I'm wrong on this one, because I'm happy people are getting back to the cinema with No Time to Die. Even if it did take a couple of months to get back to the cinema, I'm happy people are finally going back to the cinema to go and watch this event movie, No Time to Die. I'm really happy about that. So that is the end of topic number 1 on this live stream for today. So without further ado, let's move into topic number 2. And topic number 2 today is all about the new Game of Thrones spin-off, A House of a Dragon. So basically, anyway, let's talk about House of Dragon in a sec. Right, House of Dragon. House of flipping Dragon. Now, basically, there was a trailer released for this yesterday. And, okay, I'll jump into Google and show you guys the trailer. You can clearly tell my excitement talking about this topic. I'm talking about it, though, because I probably will end up watching the show. Oh, no, I've got the sound on. Turn the sound off for a sec, so I don't want to have the sound on. Right, but yes. Okay, this is what it's looking like. 200 years before the fall of the throne, so 200 years before Game of Thrones, essentially. The cinematography is looking great on this show, by the way. And the trailer, it looks interesting. Got Matt Smith in there. Well, that's Olivia Cook. There's Matt Smith. Matt Smith is somewhere in the trailer. Oh, they got to get to the throne at the end there. Ooh, Game of Thrones. I don't. Oh yeah. Sorry about that. House of Flipping Dragon. Right, where's Matt Smith in this trailer? He does a voiceover in the trailer, and he isn't actually. Where is he though? Come on, show me. Where's Matt Smith? Where's Matt Smith? Just scroll along a bit here on the trailer. There's Matt Smith. There's Matt Smith. So Matt Smith with, white hair and everything. And yeah, that looks great. He looks great in the trailer, but I must admit, I think the trailer looks rubbish. It's amazing how little excitement I have for House of Dragon. I'm not going to talk much about it, because in the end, I was left with such a sour taste after the end of Game of Thrones. So, honestly, I don't have much anticipation for House of Dragon. It just seems like HBO are trying to cash in on the Game of Thrones thing. I mean, yeah, obviously, why wouldn't they? But still, it just seems like House of Dragon is just going to be like HBO's next Game of Thrones. And it seems like it's going to compete next year with Amazon's Lord of the Rings. It's also going to compete, Wheel of Time on Amazon, and also, The Witcher on Netflix. And I know The Witcher is based on a book and a video game and whatnot, but things though, from a casual person like me, from a person who hasn't read, The Witcher books or played The Witcher game, from someone who hasn't read any of that or played any of the Witcher stuff whatsoever, I'm looking at The Witcher as like Netflix's Game of Thrones, and I just think that House of Dragon is just another way for HBO to go, you know what, we want a sort of Game of Thrones show back again. But in the end, I have very little excitement. I have very little interest in the show, to be honest. I mean, I must admit, I do actually think the trailer did a bit for me. It got me interested in the show. However, I have very little interest in the show because of the way that Game of Thrones season 8 turned out. I thought Game of Thrones season 8 was just plain poor and just honestly really disappointing. Like, I know there's some people out there that really like season 8 Game of Thrones, and if you do, I'm really happy for you. I'm actually jealous that you got something out of that last season that I didn't, because I remember when I initially watched Game of Thrones season 8, and I remember thinking to myself, it wasn't so bad. I mean, it wasn't the best season, it definitely the worst season of Game of Thrones, but you know, it was pretty good. I liked season 8 Game of Thrones. That was the first time I watched it, and then over time, I really come to realise, wait, no. The last season had so many things wrong with it. It was rushed. It was all over the place. And it had this thing that happened to it, which I call characteritis, where basically there are too many characters in the show, and basically the show doesn't know how to end all the characters, so it just rushes all of it. That's what Game of Thrones Season 8 did in the end. So the writers could run off to Star Wars. And I love all these people online saying, oh no, the writers didn't do it to run off to Star Wars. Yes, it did. If you just look at that, okay, the writers finished early so they can go and make these Star Wars trilogies and go write these Star trilogies together, but then they leave Star Wars. So why do they have to rush into Game of Thrones? It just really annoys me, that, because Game of Thrones was great. I love seasons 1 through 7. I even love 7 to bits. Honestly, I think Game of Thrones season 7, I know a lot of people criticised it, but I think it was fucking brilliant. But the thing is, though, season 8 I thought was fucking awful. I don't know. I have very little excitement for House of Dragon, simply for the fact that I was really disappointed by the end of Game of Thrones. And so even if like the first season of House of Dragon is absolutely fantastic, and I'm hoping it is, by the way, but even if the first season of this show is absolutely incredible, I'm still going to be worried about how it ends, because in the end, the writers of this show might get bored of it, and they might get offered to go and write Star Wars films, and they might go off to write Star Wars films and leave the show behind, or rush the end of the show, and then actually leave Star Wars, leave the thing that they rushed the previous show they were doing, which was so successful, to go and do. That's kind of the reason I'm not that excited for this show, because even if it is great, even if the first season is, terrific, then I will still be wondering to myself, how is it going to end? It's just going to have a disappointing end in the end. And I don't want to feel that way, but I've kind of lost my faith in Game of Thrones related content. Not necessarily what I mean there is things like they're related to Game of Thrones, because it's just going to end the same with Game of Thrones. It's just going to have so many characters in them which have really interesting stories and really fantastic character arcs, but then end it all in a really rushed and bland and just boring and dull way. I really hope it doesn't, but I can't help but think that. So I barely have any excitement for House of Dragon, and honestly, it's not gonna be one of the most. It's not gonna be one of those TV shows I'm dying to see next year. I'll check it out if people are raving about it, which I dare say people will be, because it's Game of Thrones in the end, and I think the first season will be great. But I don't think that it's gonna end great, and that's just the way I'm thinking right now, because Game of Thrones didn't end great. Game of Thrones ended in quite a bad way, and I'm afraid House of Dragon's going to do the same thing. The trailer did nothing for me, really. It got me a bit interested in the show, actually. I'll tell you that. It got me a bit interested in the show because of Matt Smith's in there. Maybe that's just because I like Matt Smith. I really like Matt Smith as a Doctor, and I really liked him as Prince Philip in The Crown, and I can't wait to see him in Last Night in Soho as well. And, he looked great in this. He looked great in the show. But that's kind of the only reason I'm interested in it. I think Olivia Cook's in the show as well, which many people might know as the main female character in Ready Player One, and she looks great in this show as well. But things though, if I'm just talking about the actors, then it just shows you how much the trailer didn't really do anything for me. I don't know, I hope it's great. I hope I watch, House of Dragon, and I hope I get to the end of House of Dragon, and it's absolutely amazing, and you know what, they stuck the landing with the end, but I don't think they will. And that's because I didn't think they did with Game of Thrones Season 8 ending. And I don't know. I'm not that excited about anything Game of Thrones related, because Game of Thrones had such a disappointing final season. And I just can't help but think, House of Dragon is going to go the same route. But hopefully I'm wrong. But nevertheless, I don't think I will be, by the way. Because it just feels like with next year, with Game of Thrones, not Game of Thrones, sorry, with Lord of the Rings, with The Witcher, although The Witcher's not really coming out next year, it's coming out at the end of this year, but still, you get my point, with The Witcher, with Game of Thrones, with Wheel of Time, and with this now, I don't know, it just seems like they're all competing together, and honestly, I think Lord of the Rings is going to win, because I think Lord of the Rings is Lord of the Rings in the end, and even so, the show might not be the best out of all three. I think it's going to win, the audience is over, and it just feels like House of Dragon is just there to compete with, Lord of the Rings, the Lord of the Rings TV show on Amazon next year. And I know, by the way, House of Dragon is based on a book, but still, So was Game of Thrones, and I know they went away for the books in the last 2 seasons, but season 7 was so great in my opinion. And honestly, I've always said, like, if they split season 8 into 2 parts, I think the last season would have been great. Well, the last 2 seasons, that isn't, because you had one season holding the Night King, another season holding who's going to take the throne. I think that would have been great, but they did it all in one season, in the season with 8 episodes, and the first episode was just a filler to set the scene. So you had basically what was a 7 episode series to really get moving with the plot, and in the end, it just went shit. I hated the end of season 8. I hated it. I can't believe it actually I liked it as well, actually. I remember watching it thinking, oh, you know what, that was pretty good. I've gone back to it recently, and I didn't. I had a very different reaction to the show, but that's just me. Hopefully, House of Dragon's great. Hopefully, they pull it off with the whole show. Hopefully, the whole show is fantastic. It ends fantastically, but I don't have much hope for it, simply because Game of Thrones Season 8 ended so poorly, in my opinion. So that's kind of all I have to say about House of Dragon. I've ranted on about it a bit too much there, but yeah. Don't have much excitement for it, but that's kind of the end of topic number 2 on this live stream for today. So, before I move into topic number 3, I'm going to have a quick drink of water. So, without further ado, let's move on to topic number 3 today. And topic number 3 is something I'm far more excited in. Topic number 3 is all about the Book of Boba Fett, the Mandalorian spin-off series, which is coming out, as you can see there on the poster. Well, hopefully you can make it out there, but if you can't, as you can see there, it says it's coming out December the 29th at the end of this year. It's our New Year gift from Disney+. Now, I know I've seen a lot of Star Wars fans online a bit disappointed that this show isn't coming out before Christmas, like Mandalorian Season 2 did last year. In the end, I know why they're doing that. Hawkeye's coming out, November the 23rd. They don't want the two TV shows to cross over. Pardon me there. They don't want the TV shows to cross over, and actually, if Hawkeye finishes and the Book of Boba Fett starts like a week later, that's all really great for Disney Plus. They'll just keep getting subscribers and keep getting people to go and watch their show. I mean, assuming Hawkeye and the Book of Boba Fett are great, but I assume they will be, by the way. Well, I don't know if I like Hawkeye, but I can guarantee you now a lot of people will, regardless of whether it's good or bad, because there's some Marvel fanatics out there. But anyway, you get the point that I'm trying to get at there. I think a lot of people are disappointed when they find out this show is coming out December 29th, because I think people wanted it to come out at the same time Mandalorian came out last year. I think they wanted it to come out like late November, but in the end, Hawkeye's doing that instead. And basically, Disney Plus doesn't want their two TV shows to cross over, which is fair enough. There's 2 big TV shows there. There's a Marvel TV show with Hawkeye at the center of it, and there's a Boba Fett TV show. People are going to want to watch both quite extensively, and they just don't want to cross over, which is fine in my opinion. Honestly, I'm not too bothered that the show is coming out a bit later than we expected. I'm just happy it's coming out, because I know actually they shot the show of the pandemic, and I'm always impressed by things that were shot with the pandemic. I'm not going to talk about it as much, but the fact is, though, it's so difficult to do that, and it's going to be very interesting to see how the show feels. I hope it's got some really nice surprises in there as well. Like, I hope we see a few familiar faces in there. I think, actually, Mandalorian might make an appearance himself as well, and I think the Book of Boba Fett will lead into Mandalorian Season 3 in some sort of way. Again, I don't know, I haven't read anything, but, pure speculation. But I'll be surprised if it didn't, considering Mandalorian Season 3 is also meant to come out sometime next year. By the way, can we just consider the fact that Star Wars TV shows, how many we've got coming out next year? We've got, this, which is going to lead into next year, by the way. The Book of Boba Fett is going to end sometime in January, I'm assuming. And then, shortly after, we're going to have Obi-Wan in March, which I know isn't shortly after, but it's still not long after. And at the same time, though, we'll have the Andor series, which is going to be like a Dark Side of the Rebellion series, which will be coming not too long after. And then I'm assuming Mandalorian Season 3 is probably coming out around November of next year, which would be great. Honestly, I can't wait to see some of the Star Wars content coming out next year, because I actually think they've been doing a better job with their TV shows at the moment than they have with their films. And I thought the sequel trilogy was great. I'm actually a huge fan of the sequel trilogy. I don't know the people online like, Force Awakens, Last Jedi, and Rise of Skywalker are effing awful because they're not anything like the originals. They're great in my opinion. I really like all 3 of those films. I like The Last Jedi more than both Force Awakens and The Rise of Skywalker, which I know it might be like sacrilegious to some people. How dare you like The Last Jedi? It's all subjective in the end. If you didn't like The Last Jedi, fair enough. I understand why. Personally, I love it though. But thing is though, even so I really liked all 3 Star Wars sequel films, I think Star Wars has done such a better job with the TV recently, which is why I can't wait for the Book of Boba Fett. So let's jump into Google here. Give me a sec though, that was me doing my live stream. Okay, as the Mandalorian Season 2 finale confirmed, Temuera Morrison's older Sarlacc surviving Boba Fett will be back in the book of Boba Fett, which we now know will be streaming on Disney Plus starting from 29th of December. Think of it as a late Christmas present, that's a kind of nice way to think about it. And the first poster has him, as we last saw him in the Mando Season 2 credits sting, sat on the throne in what used to be Jabba's palace, ready to, well, who knows what exactly. And there you have the poster, there's Boba Fett, then you have the Book of Boba Fett title there, original series streaming December 29th. It's unknown quite what the series will be, whether it'll depict exactly how Boba Fett survived his apparent fate in Return of the Jedi, or if it will be primarily set in the same time period as Mandalorian. And I think it will, by the way. I think that's already kind of been confirmed. I mean, just look at the poster, actually. If you just look at the poster, he looked like he does in Mandalorian Season 2. Or spoilers for Mandalorian Season 2 there if you haven't seen it. But yeah, he looks like he does in Mandalorian Season 2. So I think it's more than likely that it's going to be a continuation of his story from Mandalorian Season 2, which I'm not happy about. But at the same time, though, I wouldn't be surprised if they did some sort of a flashback in the series about like how Boba Fett managed to survive that quote-unquote death of his in Return of the Jedi. I wouldn't be surprised if there's some sort of flashback which explains that in the series, because I think this is a good opportunity to do that, to have your own Boba Fett series and maybe have a flashback to see how he actually really survived. Imagine if that opens the series, by the way. Imagine if that's the opening. Oh my god, I'll have the biggest grin on my face if how this Boba Fett series opened is literally you find out how Boba Fett survived his, quote unquote death in Return of the Jedi, because I'll be, oh my god, I'd just be so happy if that's the opening. I don't know if they will go that way, but it's so cool if they would. And then actually just skips all this time. You see what he's doing before he meets Mandalorian, and then you jump to now, to present day in the Star Wars universe. And he's there in Jabba's palace, and that's where the series picks up. Imagine if that's just the first episode. Honestly, that would be so good. You just see what Boba Fett's been up to all the time leading up to, well, where the show's going to take place in quote-unquote present day in the Star Wars universe. I'd love that. Actually, if they went that route, that'd be great. Because there's still a lot of mystery surrounding the character of Boba Fett. Like, I even said he came back in Mandalorian Season 2. There's still a lot of mystery with that character. Like, where's he been? What's he been doing? Okay, popped her in Mandalorian Season 2. But there's still a lot of mystery with that character about what he's been doing since Return of the Jedi, and bear in mind there's about a 5-year gap there between Return of the Jedi and Mandalorian, and a gap I'm willing to see what happens in. Honestly, I'm looking forward to Book of Boba Fett quite a lot. Not quite as much as Obi-Wan, I must admit, but nevertheless, Book of Boba Fett when it comes out, I can tell you now, I'll be dead excited to watch each and every episode come each week. And you know what? I'm actually going to do this as well. I'm going to review and do like open spoiler discussions. Well, assuming people put some in the live chat, which is absolutely fantastic, by the way. But I'm gonna do big open spoiler discussions after each episode is aired, come when it comes out late December. Honestly, I'm gonna do each. I'll just wait my focus there. Yeah, sorry. For some reason my camera went in and out of focus there. But basically, yeah, I'm gonna do reviews and spoiler discussions on the live streams after each episode of the Book of Boba Fett comes out. I'm going to do that for all the Star Wars TV shows to come out next year, which may take up a lot of my time. Honestly, the amount of Star Wars TV shows that are coming out next year is ridiculous, by the way. I mean, I can't wait, but it's ridiculous the amount of Star Wars stuff we're getting next year. It's like, thank God, because honestly, I was getting a bit stuck with the Marvel stuff. And I know we've still got another Marvel TV shows to come yet this year, but honestly, I'm looking forward to Book of Boba Fett so much more than I'm looking forward to Hawkeye. I've got to admit that we haven't even got a trailer for the Book of Boba Fett yet. We have a trailer for Hawkeye, and it didn't do much for me. But nevertheless, anyway, going back onto the Book of Boba Fett, when the show airs, after each and every episode, it comes out what's going to be Wednesday, probably the Thursday or the Friday, I'll end up doing a live stream talking about the previous episode of the Book of Boba Fett we've just seen. We're talking it in detail, and hopefully getting some spoiler discussions going on. But nevertheless, yeah, I can't wait to do that. I can't wait for the show to come out. December 29th, I'm going to be looking forward to it so much. Honestly, can't wait for it to come. I can't wait for it to come. And next year is going to be great for Star Wars content. Like I said before, we've got the Obi-Wan series, we've got Mandalorian Season 2 coming, we've got the Cassian Andor series, and at the same time though, this series will also be going into 2022 as well. So next year it's going to be great for Star Wars television, honestly. And the year after, we're going to get Rogue Squadron. It's like our first Star Wars movie since The Rise of Skywalker. So I'm looking forward to Rogue Squadron, which is going to be directed by, none other than the Wonder Woman director herself, Patty Jenkins, which I'm very much looking forward to. And also, I dare say there's going to be so much other Star Wars content coming coming out in the next few years that I just can't wait to see. And the Book of Boba Fett seems to be like the torch that's leading all the other Star Wars TV shows along the way into next year. And I can't wait to see what comes out of the show, because I dare there's going to be some big surprises. The director's great. Jon Favreau's directing an episode. He's a great director. I didn't like his Lion King film. He did the remake of Lion King. I didn't like that so much. But other than that, I like Iron Man 1 quite a lot. I don't really like Iron Man 2 actually, but I like Iron Man 1 quite a lot. I think he did a great job directing that. I also think he did a great job directing the Jungle Book remake. I think he also did a great job with the Chef film that he did. And I think he's a great director overall. And he's directed some episodes of he directed the big worm episode of Mandalorian Season 2. And by the way, we can just talk about how genius Mandalorian is. Like, the fact that, in the end, I don't think people really talked about this enough. The fact that people went into Mandalorian expecting some sort of like a bounty hunter, proper serious show. And in the end, it turned out more about a father-son story with a bounty hunter in Star Wars. That's genius. I don't know if people have talked about the fact that in the end, Mandalorian, both seasons, and season 2 in particular, becomes more about how Mandalorian loves Baby Yoda and he wants to protect him with all his life and things like that. It becomes more about a father and son story than anything else. Yes, you still got all like the Western elements in there, the whole bounty hunter elements in there, about Mandalorian going around and doing all these jobs and things like that. But at the centre of it's a father-son story, which is so genius about Mandalorian, by the way, which I don't think enough people have talked about. The fact that it's just a father and son story. So I can't wait to what Boba Fett is going to be like, because in the end, I don't think. And maybe it will be, but in the end, I don't. Pardon me there. And maybe in the end, basically in the end, I might be wrong, but I don't think this is just going to be like a mafia type Star Wars TV show, something like the Sopranos, but in Star Wars. I don't think it's going to be like that, the Book of Boba Fett, because actually I think they're going to have a much more emotional sense in there, like Mandalorian, which is one of the reasons I'm looking forward to it so much. Honestly, the Star Wars TV shows at the hands of Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni have been fantastic. The new Star Wars live action TV shows. And I know we've only had Mandalorian, but still, if they're doing the Book of Boba Fett as well, I have so much faith in it. And also, Obi-Wan is going to be directed by Deborah Chow, who also, directed some of the episodes of Mandalorian Season 1. And she did a great job, by the way. She directed like the last episode of Mandalorian Season 1, which I thought was the best episode of that season. And also, got the Cassian Andor series coming out soon as well, coming out next year, which I think is going to be a much darker side of the rebellion. And I love that these ideas I love the fact that they probably will be all about those things, but at the same time they'll have an emotional sense to them, which maybe we don't expect. And I think again that sort of idea from Mandalorian, which in the end is a series about a bounty hunter doing all these jobs, but at the same time where you've got this emotional heart between Mandalorian and Baby Yoda, which is kind of like a father and son story, which is one of the reasons I think Mandalorian works so well, and it's another one of the reasons I think that the Book of Boba Fett is going to be absolutely brilliant. Honestly, I seriously can't wait for this show. I really, really can. And I think it's going to be great. I think it's going to be absolutely fantastic. And I think it's even going to be better than all the other Marvel TV shows that have come out yet already. Honestly, I think Mandalorian Season 2 is beat WandaVision, in my opinion, way out of the park. I also think it's beating fucking Winter Soldier and Loki as well. And I think that Book of Boba Fett is going to beat Hawkeye well out of the park and be so much better than all those other Marvel TV shows. It's all subjective, but still, I'm not really been a big fan of the Marvel TV shows. I've been watching them anyway, though, because I have Disney+. But nevertheless, I can't wait for the Book of Boba Fett. I can't wait for it. And I can tell you now that when the trailer comes out, I'll be talking a lot about it in a lot of detail. But until then, we have a release date for the Book of Boba Fett. We have December 29th. And I'm telling you what, I'm counting down the days till that comes out. Because it's coming out actually 4 days after Christmas as well, which is even better. Honestly, Christmas, and then you'll have. I love Christmas, by the way. I love the Christmas time of year. Just absolutely adore that time of year, and I can't wait for Christmas. And now after Christmas has been and gone, well, not necessarily being and gone, but after we've had Christmas Day and whatnot, then we're going to get the Book of Boba Fett. Ooh, a little late Christmas present in there, which I personally can't wait to see. And no, that is the end of topic number 3 on this live stream for today. That is the end of my third and final main topic on this live stream for today. And by the way, I forgot to point out, I've got my Mandalorian t-shirt on, by the way, because I was talking about the Book of Boba Fett. So anyway, just wanted to point that out there. I have my Mandalorian t-shirt on because I was talking about the Book of Boba Fett, and I can't wait to see it. But anyway, with that is the end, like I said before, of my third and final main topic on this live stream for today. So without further ado, I'm going to wrap up this live stream. So thank you if you're watching this live. If you haven't watched this live, according to YouTube, no one is watching this live, but my YouTube may be lying, and if it is, damn you YouTube, because actually, thank you quite a lot if you're watching this live, and also if you have been watching this live, please do put some in the live chat in the near in the future. Honestly, I'd love to answer questions, or just comments, or just anything like that. Please do put it in the live chat in the near in the future on this channel. And at the same time though, if you haven't yet, please do click down below and like, subscribe on this video, and look forward to many more, both film and TVs and live streams come very soon on this channel. And also remember, if you have a topic you want me to talk about in my next live stream, please do let me know in the comment section below. But until then guys, thank you as always for watching, and see you guys again soon. But bye for now. Bye.